just feel like I'm never gonna finish this book. Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm in the second act, guys. I have the power to make the fanfiction in my head canon for this book, but I'm here trying my best. Tee. Keep going back to this well, and every day I'm taking more from it, and I'm not replenishing it. And I don't have enough energy by the end of the day to do anything more creative or to do anything that fulfills my creativity. That's what I'm saying. Why this is, I don't know. What are we gonna do about it? Because this is frustrating. I am very anxious. I had a very good anxiety going into this project. Since starting it, I have had a very unproductive and unsuccessful, unmotivating maybe type of anxiety going into it, which I shouldn't have. Like, I'm an anxiety-filled person on the daily, but I shouldn't have it for this. You know, this is a book I'm writing. It's not on deadline. I'm not contracted for writing this book, just writing it because I write books and that's what I do and that's me. So that's unnecessary. But I think, again, it is because I am not getting any other sort of fulfillment in the rest of my day, and I'm not being fulfilled by this project either, because this project is not replenishing my well. This project is taking away from it. Today, I'm saying I'm not writing, and that's okay, because I physically cannot. If you see this dry, crusty, hickey looking thing on my neck, please do not worry about it. If you didn't see last week's vlog, you wouldn't know I burnt my neck with a curling iron, which is another great thing in my life. So I'm taking today off. It's Sunday, 14th. I was really tired today because I went to a concert last night. So I have just been anxious today, and I have not been wanting to write. I'm gonna go back to my writing routine tomorrow, hopefully. So I'm going to plan out tomorrow. I need a structure in my day, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick up a book, a fiction book that influences my writing. This is key. This is something I avoided like none other last year. I don't think it was to my own detriment at all. I don't remember how bad the first draft of my book was, but STM was a fine writing process, and it wasn't hard to write reading a bunch of other random genres that I was reading. But I think for this project, I'm not losing my creativity. I'm just being exhausted, and I feel like I'm forgetting how to write in the genre, which is stupid, but nonetheless, I'm going to read something that informs my writing. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. So I think I'm gonna pick up, I don't know if I want to do a reread or if I want to read something new. I might pick up one of those books I picked up last week. If you didn't see, I did a little like writing exercise, which was really, really helpful, and I loved that. That was really great. Why am I not doing writing exercises? That might be something I look into as well, is like just stuff to get brain moving. So I'm going to plan, I'm going to read. I also am gonna watch something that informs my reading. I'm gonna do that as well. Last week, all I was doing was watching writing vlogs. It's all I felt like I could do. Again, all I felt like I could do was read nonfiction about writing and watch videos about people writing. And in some part of my brain, I was like, this is the only thing. I was just like restricting myself, maybe. But we're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna watch something that informs my reading. Maybe it's gonna be a rom-com, because I'm writing a rom-com is very like a restrictive genre, but that's a story for another day. Maybe I'll watch like a rom-com or like Heartstopper or the Great British Baking Show, something that's like happy and light and whatever, even though my book is not particularly light all the time. But anyway, even though I am watching Queen Charlotte and it is like bringing me the utmost joy. And then I'm gonna do another activity, something that is active, not in like my running, which I do almost every day, but like active in my creative headspace, like knitting or drawing, sketching, coloring, whatever that may be. So those are my goals for today. Also, my favorite website, you know the one, starts with a something and ends with a library, is shut down. Are we upset? I'm upset. I'm gonna pick a book we're gonna read. So it is Monday. Yes. Okay. I was like, I'm about to be wrong. It's Monday and I have been writing. It's like almost 2. I'm currently on my like sprint break. I've been loving doing like 40 to like 50 minute like writing sprints and then like a 10-minute break. So so good. So good. I went into writing today with like the absolute like most different perspective than I have had on writing this project since I started it, which was I was so excited. I was so excited. Just like so ready and like brimming with ideas. Like I woke up this morning after having a dream about a scene in my book that I was like, that could be like fan fiction for my characters, but like I can make it canon. Like I have the power to make the fan fiction in my head canon for this book. I was like, how do we make this happen? I'm doing it. I don't know. Something about like taking that break yesterday was just all I freaking needed. And yeah, I'm just like feeling so much better. So I wrote chapter 9. So I finished writing chapter 9 today. That ended up being like 2,500 words. Yeah, 2,557 words is what my current word count for today is so far. I'm gonna do one more writing sprint. I think I want to get like a good chunk of the way through my next chapter, chapter 10, which I'm so excited to write. I'm so excited to write this chapter. I've been dying to write. Like, I think it's the first act. Like, I do not like the first act, like at all. The second act is where I'm at. The third act, I also hate. I hate both acts, but the middle, oh, when we are having a blast, when we are just progressing, I love it. So I'm writing this 10th chapter, unless I split it up if it gets to be too long, which could happen because I'm excited about it. I'm hoping not to have to split it up, but this should be my last chapter in my first act. So I will be finishing up act 1, which like is so exciting to me because like I said, like act 2 is my favorite act. It has so many fun things that I'm excited to write about, like so much more character development and like relationship building and oh my God, I can't wait. This is kind of like a good step in the right direction because it's like, yeah. Anyway, while I was writing today, or while I've been writing today, I have been like smiling and giggling and kicking my mother freaking feet because I love my characters so much. Like, I'm so happy about this, but like I have gotten, knock on wood, like I feel like I'm really back in their heads, which is so great. That like when I'm writing something, I wrote something today and I was like, oh, you feel that way? I'm so sorry. like I didn't even know. I didn't know you felt that way. I was just channeling your thoughts and I was like, I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. And I'm just like, I love my two main characters together. They just like are so freaking cute and I love them so much. So I'm excited about it. So I'm so excited for the 10th chapter because it's gonna be really fun. And yeah, I'm having some like lies and secrets going on and now I have to like keep track of it in my brain, which is like way too much for me to keep track of. Like I wrote it down, I was like, here's the lie, here's the like here's the truth, here's what she will say. I was like, it was so hard for me to figure it out because I was like, what lie are they gonna then come up with to mask the truth, but it's gonna have a little bit of truth in it? And I was like, lying is complicated, and like as a liar myself it's so hard. But I don't think STM had any secrets. I think it had like one in the background. It's definitely interesting to play around with. I just have so many like random little threads and side projects going on in this book. I'm like, oh, I also want to tackle this, I also want to mention this, I also want to do this. I'm like, it's one book. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot. Do one more writing sprint today and then get back to kind of like chilling out, maxing, relaxing. I think I'm going to, I did start a book. I started reading Love from A to Z. This is a romance book. YA romance. And I was like looking, and all the people I subscribe to do not read YA contemporaries or YA contemporary romances. And I was like, that is nuts because that is like, that's like one of my favorite genres. That's the genre I write in. Like, so I think we need to remedy that. If you have any good recommendations of some booktubers that read YA contemporaries, let a girl know. Yeah, I started reading that. It's very cute. I'm like 25% into it. I read some of that while I was knitting yesterday. And then I posted my readathon announcement. I'm hosting a readathon in June. If you want to participate, I would love it. It's called Summerland. I have a whole video talking about all the details. And my mom did the logo, so it's very cool. I watched Enola Holmes last night. It was so cute. It was really good. I mean, like, it was cute. It was a cute little time. So, oh yeah, because I have to charge my camera battery. But anyway, final update for the day. I reached a total of 3,208 words today, which is not an all-time high for the project, but still pretty impressive. If I do say so myself. The words were just flowing today, and that was just so freaking lovely. So I started on chapter 10, I think I told you, because I'm loving chapter 10. But I wrote something and I was like, this character cannot, it's like the silliest thing. And I'm like, you're allergic. Like, you're literally allergic. What are you doing? So I have to change that when I go back to it tomorrow. But yeah, I will hopefully write all of chapter 10 tomorrow, which is probably gonna be a really fun writing day for me. I have to get some blood work done, but other than that, I have the whole day to writing, which is so exciting. I'm also gonna try to, in the next few days, get some like schoolwork done because I am gonna start classes next week while I'm on vacation, which sucks. But if I get like my work for the classes done earlier, then I won't be so like worried about juggling classes and writing and vacation all at once. So vacation's a to-do, let me just say. Happy with my writing word count for today. I only have to write like 2,800 every day. So we all know the goal is arbitrary. It's an arbitrary number I came up with, 65,000 words. It doesn't have to be 65,000 words. It's just what it is. So anyways, that is all for the writing update for today. I will see you tomorrow. Hello friends. So I did write today. Wrote chapter 10 today. And I did not finish chapter 10 today, but I'm done for the day. Yeah, I wrote all my words that I needed to write today, and still the chapter's not done. So it's going to be a very long chapter. And there's like still gonna be more. Like I still think there needs to be like 500-600 more words. There's that. I'm also contemplating, I'm like, should I also tell this chapter from the other point of view? Like, should I have both? Like, I do not know. Fine, because I like this chapter. I don't actually know what the chapter after this, I don't know what chapter 11's about. Oh, I do. Never mind, I do. But it's definitely like less fun because this chapter is like a blast, but I need to get to the second act. Like it needs to come. I just like really wanted to reach past the like 25,000 word mark, and I did. I'm at 25,020 words. I just think it's so surprising to me. Like when I wrote my first book, which I know we're counting this as my second book, but like I secretly wrote a book. I made videos on it, so don't worry about it. They're on my channel. I did NaNoWriMo in 2019, and that book I wrote was like, it was hard to push 50K. And this book, I've done a little math. And I told you I have 32 chapters in this book. Each chapter is around 2,800 words. It's some are less, some are more, whatever. Even if each chapter is like, so right now I'm at 25,000 words. It's 80,000 fucking words. So this draft is gonna be like 80,000 words. And I don't have the time to do it. I'm stressed. I'm a little bit stressed about it. I've already pushed back. I'm like, maybe I'll do the first three days of June as well, because I don't know, I need to stop writing so much, but also keep writing so much because I have so much more to do. Like my word count for today was 2,835 words, perfectly acceptable. My daily word count goal is lower now that I'm doing more days, but now that I have this idea that I'm like, this might be like an 80,000 word manuscript, I don't know if 65 is gonna cut it. I don't think 65 is gonna get me there, and that's gonna be real shit if I hit, that's 50 more thousand words. So that's still 75K. That's still more than I'm planning on. Okay, it's fine. I mean, like, 65 is just, like, my goal. My draft of STM, which is the last book I wrote, was 62, 63, I think, the first draft. And now it's the third draft. The final draft is, like, 75K. But this one seems like a chunky book. And, like, it's valid because there's a lot going on. There's a lot more threads. There's a whole other perspective, like whatever. But like, am I gonna finish it? Like in this month, am I gonna finish it? So I have 50,000 more words. Like, oh, I have not finished my first draft. My first act. I've not finished my first act. I should be at my second act by now. Chapter 10 is going well. I love it. It's really fun, but. I had all the intentions of not finishing the 10th chapter, and then I did it. So I wrote about like 300 more words in that chapter. I have a running like to-do list already of what I'm doing in the second draft. Very like minor things. It's like expand this person's guilt was one thing I just wrote down. I was like, I want to see more of their guilt in this scene. And like that's like what my notes are to myself. But one thing I was thinking about with chapter 10 is because it was like really long, and I think it could even be longer, like those 300 words I added were like abbreviated. Like I could have really expanded on what I was trying to accomplish in those 300 words, but I didn't because I wanted to get it done. I wanted to finish the first act because now I have. I'm in the second act, guys. What I think I might do, and it's not gonna be a first draft problem. No, it is not. I think in the second draft, I'm gonna take chapter 10 and I'm gonna split it into two. So we'll have chapter 10 and then we'll have chapter 12, and those will be those two chapters, and I'm just gonna like expand either so they're about an equal length, like 2,500 words or whatever. And then I'm gonna put another chapter in between them, which will be the new chapter 11. This is gonna be later because my chapter 11 currently is different. This one I think I can do from the other POV because I have this setting and I have this like scene, but in the 10th chapter, there's like 3 big scenes that are happening, 3 big conversations that are happening, and like it's just a lot in one chapter. And I like the movement of this, but it's only really focusing on one of the characters, which is fine because it's in her perspective, but it's a lot of time in just her perspective. So I want to see what else, like what my other character is doing at this time, because like he's there. He's there. What's he doing? He's off on his own. It's not necessary. Like I don't think it's like necessary to the story. Like Draft 1's all about story, but sister story. So I don't think like I'm gonna go back and do it now or anything, but I do think that it's something I want to do in the second draft. Of course, like I'm already thinking about the second draft, but there's that. I also have changed my word count goal for this draft. I know I was throwing a bunch of arbitrary numbers at you yesterday, and did they make any sense to you? Probably not. I was trying to understand how much I'm writing in each chapter and how many chapters I'm writing, which is 32 currently. So we're not like adding any chapters, which is really interesting. I'm just adding more threads, which is using the heck out of my brain. I'm also like maybe getting sick or have allergies, but that's besides the point. If I sound congested, I'm sorry. So I changed my word count goal to 70,000 words, which is still like an estimate that's like lower than what it might be. Like it still might be like 75 to 85,000 words, which is fine. I'm just like, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. So we're at 70,000. So far today, I've written upwards of 2,000 words. I'm on chapter 12 now, and I have written 27,666 words. Today I've written 2,000 something. I have to write more, but I just keep finding these like extra kernels of things I have to do in a chapter, especially in my female perspective, and I don't know why that is, because I wish I had that for my male perspective, because his chapters are consistently shorter. And yeah, I just like went on a whole ramble that was like motivational, and I was like, I don't like this, but like it is what you're supposed to say, but I don't like it. It's like a fun fact about my life. Every time I'm home, I go to like 600 doctor's appointments. So I have one today. Actually, I'm also getting my COVID booster. I'm doing that today. So that means I might feel like crap tomorrow, which is great. I know, I love it. So I'm very excited about it. I finished Love from A to Z yesterday. It was cute and I liked it. I got an arc of Friends Don't Fall in Love by Erin Hahn. And like Erin Hahn, I love her, as we already know. And I got an arc of this book, and like it has a celiac main character, and like my main character in my book has celiac, and I love it. So not at all similar books, but like 3 chapters into that. I have it on my phone. I might read more of that later. So, okay. Hi guys, it's Friday. I took yesterday off of filming and writing, namely writing. I got my booster shot, so my day was shot, pretty much. I was sleeping and watching XO Kitty all day. I watched all of it, by the way. Here's my rating. Fantastic. Loved it. I ate that up. It was so good. Highly recommend. I was like worried about it. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this, but the drama was good. There was like a love square. I loved it. It was so good. So that was like my productive thing I did yesterday. I'm back to writing though. I'm gonna try to write a lot today, which is like, how is that gonna happen? I don't know yet. I don't know the logistics, but I'm here trying my best. I've already written about 1,100 words today. It's like 10. So I have a little notepad. I'm gonna try to get to 33,000 today. Keeping on I was gonna say on brand. On schedule. Yeah, so to like make up for yesterday. It's not necessary, of course, but it is something I would like to do. So right now I'm at 29,335 words. So I just split up a chapter because it got too long. I know. You know what? I know. It got too long and I was like, these are happening on separate days. Like, I don't know how to connect these two things. Like, it's gonna be a separate chapter. You know, it's gonna be a separate chapter. So I'm hoping that I then can write the next chapter in the same POV, because I just split it. Write that one and then write the next one. Will that happen? I do not know. So I'm going into the next one is chapter 13, which is not the same as my other chapter 13. I actually almost want to go back and split up chapter 10. Anyway, I just feel like I'm never gonna finish this book. You know what I mean? A little bit worried about it. I'm getting a little nervous. Not just like, I was fine with taking yesterday off because like I felt like crap, and when you feel like crap, you can't really do much. So that was fine. I'm still like, I think I have allergies. That was fine, and I'm not like that mad about it because I know like I'm gonna get back to it and it's all gonna be fine. But going into like next week, I'm going on vacation and my classes start. So I just don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like take the week off. I don't know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. We're all learning together. That was my little update. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna try to take a break every like 1,000 words or so, just so I can, yeah, because that 1,000 words, I got so distracted. Oh my god, I'm having a time and I keep going on things like random like Instagram and like get off, like stop doing that. So I had a lot of fun writing this last chapter. It like was expanded upon a scene that I didn't really think about, and I was like, oh, like I did the scene before, I have to like follow it up, continue it later. The more I kind of got into it, the more I was like getting into it. I was like, oh, this is fun. Like this chapter, I don't know if I'm gonna name the chapters in this book because I had chapter names in STM. Because this book has dual POVs, I right now have like chapter 1 and then I have like the name. Now it would be like chapter 1, the name of the chapter, or it would be like 1, the name of the chapter, the name, and it's just like too many colons. But I guess it doesn't have to be a colon, it could be like under. It could be like a subheading would be the name of the perspective. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna think about it. But if I were to name the last chapter I wrote, which is what I was gonna say, it would be like the call is coming from inside the house, because like this character like literally just figured out my main character and she was like, like what are you talking about? Like she's like psychoanalyzing her, and it was really fun. It was really fun to write because I mean there's very few opportunity to like very obliquely like talk about like themes in a book or like characters and be like, this is who they are, and like lots of telling and stuff. There's very few opportunities to do that, and like very like few like graceful opportunities to do that, I guess I could say. Like I mean I could write like, this person is mad, this person is sad because blah blah blah. It was really fun to have this other character basically like tell them who they were, and like in this like really fun kind of context, and I had a fun time writing that. So friends, it is Saturday. I did something I haven't done in a while, which is I haven't started writing yet, and it's almost 1 o'clock. I'm gonna start writing at 1, which is why I'm updating now. Woke up this morning, went on my run, and then I kind of just had this like wave of anxiety that happens from time to time. And so I decided not write immediately after I was feeling that. And instead I edited my video, which I needed to do. I had to fix something in the podcast because there was a problem because I'm a one-man show. Just kidding. I did the editing. Maggie's my Lord and Savior and does everything else. Did that instead. And I just kind of like took my mind off of writing, which did help. This is another reason. I was going to do that like 5K word day yesterday. And then I got to this chapter and I had like an existential crisis about this book and about this character. And I got really, really worried because I have been noticing that this character's chapters have been like the shortest chapters. And I think I've said it before, they're having a much more like internal struggle that's not really like manifesting itself on page that much. So there's not a lot of action that I can write about. Whereas my other main character has this manifestation of her internal struggle in an external conflict. That has been really hard for me to like get on the page because there's nothing moving the scenes, you know? So I got to this kind of like roadblock and I was like, should I just not have a second perspective in this book? Like, am I just like wasting my time? And it was very stressful. So that's why I stopped writing for the day yesterday. I wrote 3K or something like that. Now I kind of have this not new perspective on the perspective. Kind of accepted something, which is that his chapters are going to be more internal and that I just need to dive into that like psyche. They can have more exposition about how he's feeling, what he's going through in his head, and they can have more kind of like sporadic conversations, and maybe they don't have as much like action going on. If I am claiming that he is having the internal struggle and that is his thing, then let's fucking put it there. Like, let's build that out. Let's find our way in that. So I think allowing myself the freedom of saying his chapters are going to be different because they don't have as much action, and like allowing myself the freedom of saying like, that doesn't mean that they are not as good. That doesn't mean that they don't have the same like impact. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're gonna be a little bit different. They're gonna be written differently. And yeah, then I kind of jotted down my handy dandy post-its. If you're new here, I love post-its. I used to, oh my God, they're still on YouTube. Back in the day, I had like post-its on my wall of like chapters, I think. Were they chapters or plot points? I don't know, but then I would like rip it off when I was done. That was fun. Because this chapter is like basically just like a conversation. I feel like all of his chapters are like a singular conversation, and then all of my girl perspective chapters are like 3 different conversations, and hence like 3 different scenes, and then I have to split those up. So I kind of was like, this is what this character is thinking, this is what this character is thinking. This is why they're not matching up in what they're thinking they're having a conversation about. Gosh, you could have just enjoyed my mom singing. Hi guys, so I'm here to round out the vlog. I also have to pack. A whole other issue, but whatcha. So I'm gonna round out the vlog. I'm gonna tell you what I've written today. I didn't write as much as I have been writing, but I wrote like my target goal for doing the 70,000 thing, which we all know is not probably what my book is going to be. But that's fine. It's probably told you that I'm going on a trip to Florida for a week, and I'm leaving tomorrow, so I have to pack. But I don't know how writing's gonna go next week. We're gonna try. My classes also start next week. A tee-hee. So what I was gonna say is I'm gonna tell you how many words I wrote today. I finished a chapter and I started another chapter. I actually wrote like the entirety of a chapter and then I started another chapter. So I wrote chapter 14 and I started chapter 15. I'm only like 500 words into chapter 15, and yes, I feel like I unlocked, I don't want to say this, I'm like, I don't want to jinx myself, but I do feel like I came up with a good mentality to put myself in when writing my other perspective, because when I was writing him, I was just like constrained by the fact that there wasn't a lot of like movement in a scene, that there wasn't a lot of action going on, and I felt like in that chapter that I wrote from his perspective, I was really able to just like go deeper and have my word count reflect the fact that I was doing a lot of like internal work. Whereas I feel like in the other chapters, I was just so hindered by the fact that I couldn't move, that I couldn't pay attention to like his internal monologue as much. Does that make sense? That really worked in just like kind of understanding where I'm at with writing that character. I was gonna pack while I did this, and then I was like, that's a horrible idea. This draft is totaling at 33,807 words, which is not even halfway through. It's been a week and I feel like I'm not even like, I barely started in the second act. Oh my god. Anyway, it says I'm 49% through, which I like absolutely don't believe. Like, I am nowhere near the midpoint. Like, the midpoint is, yeah, I still have 2 to 5 chapters until I reach what I consider to be the midpoint. So there's that. Anyways, today I wrote a total of 2,544 words. Again, not my best writing day, but I had like a pretty good one yesterday, so it evens out. I'm still like, pretty much have to hit like 2,600 or 2,500 every day to reach my 70K word goal. Arbitrary at best. So I am going to go pack. I do hope you enjoyed this weekly writing vlog, and you will stay tuned for next week because I will be in a different location. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe to all the things, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.